everybody. It's Kenny K here again. Um, First of all, thanks for the new subscribers. Your badges of honor to me. Welcome. And let's have some fun in the category of horror, right? Everything around horror. We do it all: found footage, creature, features, maniacs, slashers, ghosties, whatever. Now, the one that I wanted to talk to you about is the lost footage of Leah Sullivan. Gets a 5.5, which is for a found footage movie not that bad, because every found footage movie that gets a 5 plus is worth a watch. You don't have a lot of found footage movies that go to 6, and especially not over 6. The two movies that I only know that I've seen that went over the 6 is The Blair Witch Project, with I believe 6.5 on IMDb, and something that just blows my mind, but okay, apparently everybody is super scared of this movie, Noroi, or Noroi the Curse, a Japanese found footage movie that came slightly after The Blair Witch. This one gets a 6.8. So, but this one gets a 5.5. I agree, 5.5 is a good number. Directed by Bert Gavenstead. Bert Gavenstead, and co-directed by Anna Stromberg. Now, who are these people? These are also the two stars of The People. Anna Stromberg is Leah Sullivan, and later in the story, pretty fast in the story, there's Bert Greenstead. Sorry, it's my whole fucking writing, and just scribble it fast on these notepads. Give me a few reminders, right? And he plays a cop, a local cop named Patrick Rook. They're investigating, Leah is investigating this cold case for a school project. Now, she's doing it all alone, which in my opinion is because she wants to unveil the cold case, so it's not true. So basically it's about a house of the McCulney family that 30 years ago got massacred. The dad got tied to a pole, his legs were cut off, he bled to death. The wife was tied to a I believe a bed. They cut off both of her arms, bleed to death. The daughter was hanged on the neck, decapitated, and they found the hand of Edward McCulney, but they never found his body. That was tied also to a bed. And that's what it keeps you the cold case, because Edward McCulney is still missing. So she wants to find out, and this and that, and you get the usual interviews. But then the cop, like I said, Patrick, comes into play. They have this constant flirtation remarks, like teenagers. Oh, you look good. Yeah, you too. Oh, don't put a cap on because you look better without it. That's okay. I like that these people like each other, but don't do it. It's like the moment they meet, the guy doesn't. She committed a crime. She almost ran somebody over because she was busy with her camera and not looking at what was on the road. And then this cop comes, and instead of saying, watch out here, don't drive with a camera. He says, I know you, I know you. Yeah, my little brother went to school with you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So say you wanna go and drink a coffee? So it starts from there, and the flirtation starts from there. Now, is Leah's flirtation innocent and it's real, or is she just flirting with him because she wants to become this hard, tough journalist that does these cases, crime cases. Uh, so maybe she's just playing him like a fiddle, right? Because he brings the file, and he brings it an entire file of what they found back then. Now, in no way a police officer can show that to not even a journalist, a school project girl that, and he opens it, you see the crime scene pictures, and she, whoa, whoa, can I see that again? Whoa, decapitated. And she's almost like, wow, looking at the pictures, the killed people from back then. And then he actually brings another file, an up-to-date one, and this one goes all the way. So the murders happened in the 70s, but this one goes all the way to the late 90s, where every so often a person is missing. Always a person, younger kids, camping nearby the McColney place. It's pretty isolated there, that house of the McColneys. And or daring each other to go in. One goes in, doesn't come out. So there are like 5 of these cases. And she looks at it and looks at it. It's like, guy, you can lose your job over this little flirtatious situations. Okay, but in any case, the moment the movie starts, I believe, is that she's filming herself. That starts with, the typical found footage of the lost footage of Leah Sullivan. Boom. We think she's dead. Boom. And then you see, so you already know it's gonna end bad, like a lot of found footage movies. So she's interviewing herself, camera on a tripod, and behind her is the McColney house, and when they're always there, something, if you really gotta see, you gotta pay attention when she's trying to make a good take and not laugh, or not, being somebody, ripping somebody off. You see in the back that uh, the the shades, are opening, and when she stops, it goes back closed. It goes back like that. The opening shades for a window. So she's being watched at that point from somebody in the Mulcahy house. Now, eventually, she she con- she can convince Patrick to go in the house, and they're going in the house, and a lot of weird shit is happening. They hear weird shit because everybody they interview said that every time, like a roofer that was at the same time there when the Mulcahy's were found, uh, other people that, like the group of kids that got away and the ones that didn't got away, they heard like this boom. So they always heard that same sound. Now, at the very last moment, she finds a cellar, a big ass cellar door. Oh, let's go in. No, he said. No, Patrick takes her arm. It's enough. You've got your thing. You've got your school project now. You even seen files. You even seen the McConey house. Uh, and then I think so. If you look really well, you see him in every corner. The McConey. He was played by David Nash. They refer him as the creature, but he's just a man wearing a white dress, but he doesn't because he doesn't have any clothes anymore, and he has white black hair that's grown to here because he never snipped it off, and he's been living there, eating canned foods. But he was apparently this boy was super paranormal, a lot of paranoid. A lot of people thought he was up to no good, and up to no good back then in the 70s meant he's a unstable person. So a lot of believe that Edward probably killed his parents in a vicious way with an axe, and that he chopped his own hand off, one of his hands, to basically think that he was so he would not be the prime suspect, you know, and eating canned foods. But the thing is, okay, they're at I think Leah's home. She's living with her aunt, and they're talking about the scenes. They're talking about the scenes, and before they enter the house, they see the shades again opening and going closed, and Patrick sees it. Somebody's in there. Somebody's in there. And then okay, he yells without a gun. He never has a gun until the very end. He yells, "No, this is the police. Come out now. If, Anders, I'll, come out, make yourself visible." And this is the police talk. And there is one scene where Leah puts the camera on the table and puts herself in it, and you can clearly see there's a guy behind her in a white dress with a black and they were reviewing the pictures of what happened with the shades, and that there's somebody clearly in, and it's not like a gerbil or something. But instead going back to, okay, I understand she wanted to edit everything together at the very end, but sometimes you have to review your footage, right? If they done that, they did it for a part. The only part they did it for was when they were walking up to the house and they saw the shades move and somebody running past the windows. Look at the fucking camera and you saw that this guy was behind you all the time. And then she gets it in her head. I don't know why. She wants to go back near dark, near fucking dark. And he says, okay, Patrick says, okay. He really doesn't want to, but he does it purely out of love for her. But she's just using him. She's just using him. That's not what. That's the reason why I did not like Leah Sullivan. She comes off cute. She's a beautiful girl, but she's actually an arrogant. People used her, and she used Patrick's crush on her to get what she wanted, get the old file, the new files, and to get in that house again because it's trespassing. It's a crime scene. Eventually, he carries now, he has a gun, a Glock, and a small, the only one that, was genius enough to bring a flashlight was him, and it's really small, so he's going in the house like this, right, with a gun. And Leah didn't have any. But the thing is, nowadays these cameras have night vision, right? And this movie came out in 2018. Movies before that miraculously had night vision, vision that was back then already like, is that already out on a simple camera? I mean, right? She didn't have that, so you can see. That's the problem. You see jack shit, only them scaring each other, and then sometimes in like they're in. She stays back because he's going for the flashlight outside, so she's all alone in the house. She finds these cans and water dripping. She closes it. She sees that the water faucet does it isn't mineralized, you know, that it's been there for a long time, rusted and like that. And she finds these open cans that are fresh. And when she's doing this, the guy's standing right here. Then she hears Patrick, and the guy's gone. They go up to the bedroom, to the. This is a spoiler, by the way. Okay, they go to the upstairs bedroom, and they find in the sister's room all these dresses, and she's like, oh, maybe this would, you know, still fit me, you know, vintage is coming back. And he says, no, you can't take anything from here. And then we see him again in the hallway watching them. And then they go to the infamous cellar. And the cellar does make that sound from boom to close again. Then they're in this basement where all these cans are stored, because like I said, Edward was paranoid too, because it was during the Cold War, and he thought, oh, the Russians can just bomb us to hell. So he made this cellar. He had a cage full of mice. Now I think it's not for eating, but they use mice to record the radioactivity. Yeah, if it's still there, the mice will fall dead. So I think that was the reason behind the caged mice. Then the camera is constantly paneling, and it's dark. You don't see shit. The light doesn't help that he brought. Then you see a slight glimpse. You hear somebody coming, opening the cell door. They're like that with a gun, and who the hell's there? Me as a police officer, I would be like, who's there? Make yourself known with a flashlight, because he has to come to stairs. Then you hear what a lot of people in the interviewees said, that they hear like a cackling sound and like an infant sound, and then you hear and it's pretty creepy. I gotta admit, you're in a cellar, dark, the lighting is doing jack shit. I'm not really sure what Patrick is doing there. I mean, where is he? He's in this room can't be that big. And eventually, when they go away, a glimpse of the killer is seen, and the last thing she wanna do is go to the Edward's bedroom. She finds this bunk, like not a bunk bed, but a bed that's higher, and you've got a drawer underneath it. Then you have all these names of the people that died, including the missing cold case kids, the 5 missing people, with all the names, and then also Leah and Patrick. are the next target. That's pretty creepy. And then they decide to get the fuck out of there. But then Patrick just wants to be the hero. He hears something. He goes in a room. The door slams on him. Leah gets in, and Patrick's saying, oh, okay, okay. And then it slams again, but then he sees somebody rushing Patrick, and you hear him firing one or two shots, and she goes back in. And I don't know if you see Patrick's body or something. I think you do, but it's unclear. There was something bloody there. I'm not sure what happened to him. That he got decapitated or something. But his gun is laying there. So she takes a gun with a fairly full clip. She runs to the car, and the moment she enters the car, the moment she she has the keys too. The moment she wants to open it, this guy with long hair, like I said, is going after her. What I presume to be an axe. He hits her, but he doesn't hit. He misses her. She falls. Then she wants to get the gun. She pops off a few bullets, and then the guy does not the coup de grace yet. He hacks her. And you hear her like gurgling blood, but you don't see anything. You just see a flash of the killer, like this, and then you see her falling on the ground with the camera on the ground next to her, and then you see her, you hear her gurgling. You don't see her face, so she's bleeding, and then the killer is dragging her away, and then later you hear in the background when they're back in the house, you hear the same sound, boom. So he opens the cellar, and he says to the guy, who's obviously Edward, where are you gonna, where are you taking me? So she was still alive at that point. She probably gets fucked up and killed by this guy, because I don't think he only lived from cans but also from humans. So that's the end of the movie. Now what I like is the subtle moments when you see him and when you're not seeing him. The subtle moments when you're not seeing him, but you see something move in the house, or you see him standing in a corner. You see a shade of him like a swift with the camera. You see something blurry, which it definitely looks like a human. But almost, the killer almost had a fucked up face. I'm not sure. I like that. The acting wasn't bad. That flirtation thing, that wasn't bad, but she was obviously flirting with him to get information out. And the cop, God bless him, he was such a sweetheart, and he was so in love with Leah that he just here, and then he risked his life for a second time to go near dark in that creepy house, and they know for goddamn well that there's somebody in there, because the first time they went in there, they saw somebody in the window, and if they reviewed a little bit longer of the video, they saw that someone was standing behind Leah Sullivan. And if she still wants to go in the house, I would say, first of all, I got two choices: let her go and let her die alone, or arrest her. I would arrest her for her own safety. So likes are, like I said, these instant. So the eeriness of the glimpses of the killer, and then the of use of drapes, shades, drapes, and something running past the window. That was pretty good. The acting wasn't bad, like I said. The only thing I just couldn't figure my head off. You know, they went in the house. She has footage of somebody running through past the window and footage of the guy standing behind her, and she had more than enough for a school project. But the stupid thing is that they get greedy and want more, and then you die. That's the way it is. Had here some. Yeah, I think also like Patrick. He didn't put up a fight as a cop, a trained cop, against this weirdo in a house. He didn't put up. I didn't think he was a good cop. So yeah, that was one of talking points with talking points. You know, with the not seeing the footage and all, and you know, and him being so over in love with her. That so that's it. The lost footage of Leah Sullivan. It's not one of the worst ones. No, it has creepiness, eeriness, and good acting and good and likable interviewees. That, that it's in Boston, and it's a few of them with the Boston accent. They all have Irish names. Even the gangster Whitey, Bulgy Whitey, that wasn't a known Irish mobster, comes in playing a movie of somebody's family. Of any case, good movie, recommended. If you're a found footage fan and you've never seen this one, check it out. You know, it's definitely not the worst. Subscribe, free, no cost, no nothing, and more fun. That's the only thing I gotta give you. See ya next time.